You're listening to CBC Online at cbchs.org.
Let's get started with Dr. Kelvin Adams. Doctor, before we get started into the nitty-gritty, take a moment and just talk about this high school and how special this high school is in the St. Louis community.
This is the only 712 school that we have in the district. It's one of the
online with McGraw-Millhaven, and pretty interesting panel today. Representatives from the private schools, public schools, and the charter schools. What was your take on today's event?
I was fascinated by it, actually, because I thought each one of the four was very respectful of the other, which is what I figured. But I was a little bit surprised at how receptive they were to each other's problems. They understood each other's problems, they appreciate each other's problems, and it's almost like they can't believe that the other one has those problems to deal with. So I was surprised, and I think that the audience and the people who listened learned that each one has their own unique issues and their own unique problems, and how they all want to work together to try and solve them.
As a follow-up, the message of collaboration, regional collaboration came up, which a lot of people may not suspect a private school, public school, and charter school would preach that. Was that surprising to you?
Well, if you listen to the callers of radio stations and you listen to people who want to throw flames, yes, because those people don't want to work with anybody. Those people clearly know the answer, and the answer is a silver bullet. I think what we learned today is that it's not a silver bullet. There's a lot of issues we don't even think about, and the fact that these people work together, once you pull away the first layer and realize that these people are all in it together, because I think all of them said, if we all don't succeed, we all fail. And so each section of education needs the other one to be successful for themselves to be successful. And if anybody learns anything about this, they should learn that they're all in it together, and they're all on each other's side.
Again, that's McGraw-Millhaven on CBC High School Online. Thank you, with the CBC President Mike England. And a pretty significant day. We were with the StLBeacon for the Beacon and Eggs, the Education Roundtable. What was your take on the discussion today?
Very inspirational and positive, I think. Spending some time here with Dr. Adams from the St. Louis City Schools and hearing the things that he's doing, it gives you hope for what education throughout the region can become. I think that the overriding theme of the program today was that the success of all of the schools, not just CBC, but all of the schools, city, county, public, private, is what this region needs, and it's what all young people deserve. Needs to be the goal of education, and boy, if everybody can get behind that, it's exciting to think what the possibilities are.
And one of your closing comments, you kind of challenged the media to take a look at some of the positive stories that are going on, specifically with Dr. Adams in the city schools. Were you impressed with the presentation from the city schools? I think a lot of times we forget that there's a lot of success out there.
Oh, to listen to Dr. Adams say that he has to take care of 42 different languages in his schools. He mentioned that his gas bill, I don't know if that got on the air or not, that his gas bill is $22 million to transport everybody to these schools. schools. I mean, the unbelievable challenges that he has in the St. Louis City Schools are things. You know, sometimes I think I'm having it tough. To hear what he deals with is it's unbelievable. But there's hope, because when you see the commitment that he has to these kids, to education, and to making their futures brighter through education, it really gives me hope, and also makes me appreciate the great job that I think that we're doing at CBC with our young men.
And certainly you have to welcome the opportunity to kind of break through some perceptions that the community might have of private schools, and certainly some of your comments focus on collaboration and that we're all in this together and the strength of the region. You want to talk about that a little bit more?
Well, again, it just goes back to what I think education needs to be about. And education is not about the adults, and it's not about, you know, my job or anything else. And you know, and I don't mean that in any other way other than it's about kids, and it's about giving them a great future. The story of St. John Baptist de La Salle that started with the poor kids on the street who couldn't have an education because their parents couldn't afford it, and de La Salle saw that to make their lives better, the way to do it was through education. That's the answer. Education is the answer through the futures of all young people, and all young people deserve the opportunity to have a quality education, and I'm all for that, whether they go to CBC or they don't go to CBC.
And finally, at the end of the presentation, you had a lot of the young people from McKinley High School come up and ask you some kind of pointed questions, some tough questions. You welcome the opportunity to talk to them about the school.
It was neat. It was neat to talk with them, and it was neat to see inside of them that what they want for their school, McKinley, is what I want for our school at CBC. We want to be the best that we can be, and that's what those kids want. They want the same thing that our kids have, and that was what their questions were about. You know, their questions were, you know, they were questioning whether that is possible. And I'm sitting there telling them, yes, it is possible. It is possible. When you have a school community that gets behind excellence, that gets behind everybody being as good as we can possibly be, the sky's the limit. You can accomplish great things.
Any closing thoughts on the presentation today?
Neat opportunity. A little nervous sitting up there with the quality of the people that we were. Really glad that I got to meet Dr. Adams. He gave me his card, and hopefully him and I will stay in contact in the future. And whatever support he can provide for me, I'll lean on him, and whatever support I can provide for him, he can lean on me.
Again, that's the St. Louis Beacon and Eggs presentation, KTRS 550. Mike England, we'll talk to you next time.
CBC, Men for Tomorrow, Brothers for Life.